Good morning to you. Welcome to Rise and Thrive Breakfast Show on not just another channel, which is Camnet TV. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm your host. My name is Precious Mzea Sakaleja. Now, how has been your new year so far? Yeah, we're into 2021. Just a week ago, we're saying bye-bye to 2020, and I'm sure you've set so many goals that you want to achieve this year. And then on a sad note, we've been hit with the second wave of COVID-19. Hope you're taking care of yourself. Hope you're maintaining that social distance, wearing your mask. If you have any signs of a fever, a flu, make sure that you visit your nearest health center or call, and then they'll definitely come through and see if you have the COVID-19. And also, if you've been in contact or you are visiting a crowd or you've been at crowded places, make sure that you quarantine yourself or go for that swab. Yeah, it might be uncomfortable, but it's for your best. And also, if you move about a lot and you use public transport, make sure that you just wear your mask every time, and also wash your hands for at least 20 seconds. Okay, like everywhere, just make sure that you thoroughly wash your hands. Well, in case you've just joined me, this is the Rise and Thrive Breakfast Show, making sure that we get you ready, update you on what's happening in the political industry, entertainment, and also in the education sector. Now, before we get started and before I tell you what I have for you today, let's take a quick short break and then we'll continue with the conversation on the other side. Good morning.
Good morning and welcome to our morning breakfast, and this is the Morning Boost, and I am your presenter, Isaac Matsa. I am here so that we can be able to do a warm-up exercise together just before you go about your day. All right, as usual, we are going to start with a warm-up. There we go, warm-up. 1 minute warm-up. After that, we'll be able to do some mountain climbers. Just that. For a minute. Let's go. How was your night? Say something so that we know where you're watching us from. If you're watching via Facebook, let's go. By the way, this is what I'm doing. See that? That's the workout all together. You're going to feel your calves actually. You're going to feel your legs. 1 minute warm up. Let's go. And let's change to the warm up. That protein. Go. 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 Down with the warm up. Getting into a wake up now. Let's go. Faster. Faster. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. All right. That's it. Today, we're going to do something different. Let's do this now. Go down. Lay flat. It's a 3-minute workout. Bring in your leg out, in, out. Okay? In, out, in, out. That's the workout you're going to do now. So you come here, go down, body posture like that. Let's go. 1, 2. Let's work on the tummy. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's the first 10. So I'm going to do another 10. Let's go. Same thing. Down, straight up, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you're doing it correctly, you're going to feel your arms. 10. Okay. So that's 20. I have 2 more sets. Remember, just 5 minutes every morning. That's all you need. Okay, third set, let's go. 1, 2, 3. You should feel your arms. 4, and the belly. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so that's my third set. I'm gonna do the fourth one now. So that's gonna be 40. So I'm working on the tummy, also strengthening my arms. Let's go, last 10. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 40. So I've worked on my triceps and biceps, burning fat on the arms and the tummy as well. Okay, so the same workout. This time I'm gonna do it faster. Remember, it's a 3 minutes workout. Okay, so I'm good. 1 minute now. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, let's cool down. So try that. After you come back home, try to do those workouts. And they're going to work out for you perfectly. So this is very good for you every time you do that. So let's do now cooling down now. Easy. Easy. You've done the workout already. Easy. Thank you so much. This is Isaac Matsa, and I'm going to see you again. Stay blessed and stay fit. Thank you.
Welcome back. You're still on the Rise and Thrive Breakfast Show on not just another channel, Camnet TV. Now, yes, you know, we get to have our morning boost every session on the breakfast show, just making sure that you're fit and that your immune is boosted, and also not forgetting the very, very important meal of the day, which is your breakfast. Are you the type that gets to have the muffins or the cakes, or you're the type that gets to have the eggs and the bread toast and all, or is it tea or juice? Which type are you? And also make sure that you can come through on the numbers scrolling on your screen. I have people that will be coming to you where we get to talk about the COVID-19 and the challenges that people are going through amidst this time. And also remember that it has come back with a bang, okay? So you need to make sure that you take care of yourself. If you protect yourself, you're protecting the next person, you're protecting your friends and family. And also not forgetting that bars and nightclubs have been partially closed and are only operating on takeaway basis for the next 14 days. So now this is the second time that bars and nightclubs are being closed for 14 days. The other time, I think the first time it happened, I think it was for more than 2 months. Okay, so this time around it's for 14 days, and then we'll hear the directive and how far it will go. Not forgetting there has been some there's a trend, not really a trend, there's the current situation of a Public Accounts Committee and Zamra, okay, and Honeybee. If you haven't yet gotten a gist or maybe heard about it, I'll be giving you the details later. But for now, let's take a look at this news clip that the directive that came through that bars and nightclubs should be closed and should only operate on takeaway basis for the next 14 days until we hear the next directive. We'll be back after this.
Following the surge of the COVID-19 cases, with Lusaka being a hotspot, bars have been ordered with effect Wednesday to start operating on a takeaway basis for a period of 2 weeks. The decision was arrived at when Lusaka City Council officials and Bars and Nightclub Owners Association met and charted the way forward. Announcing the new measures, Lusaka Deputy Mayor Christopher Shakafuswa warned that any bar and nightclub owners who will fail to comply with the new measures risk their licenses being revoked.
It has been decided that bars and nightclubs who only operate on takeaway basis for the next 14 days, this is to allow them to deplete or sell the stock that they had gotten for the festive season. And we had wanted to close bars and nightclubs completely, but the association made reservations that we allow their members to sell the stock on takeaway basis.
The council has also suspended all social gatherings such as weddings and kitchen parties for the next 14 days with immediate effect, with funeral gatherings being restricted to only 50 close family members.
To announce that all social gatherings of any nature, such as weddings, kitchen parties, matevitos, are banned with immediate effect. Lusaka City Council will not be issuing any permits for these social gatherings. We also want to encourage the clergy, or the political parties, that Lusaka City Council is discouraging the gathering of churches and the political parties due to the surge of the cases of COVID-19.
Meanwhile, the Bars and Nightclub Association of Zambia President Peter Mwale says his organization will support the new measures put in place.
Has already been said, my appeal to all bar owners and nightclub owners across the country is that let us please adhere to the conditions that have been put. It is for our own good and our good of our patrons in these bars. Therefore, starting from today, as His Worship has put it, can we start selling all our merchandise on takeaway basis, strictly on takeaway basis? Don't admit patrons in our premises. If that is found, don't blame us. We work closely, Your Worship, with the local authorities to ensure that these conditions are adhered to.
Sharon Kalimbula, Camnet News, Lusaka.
So there you have it. And also a lot of things have been happening in the course of this week, I would say. Hot FM just put to rest one of their radio guru, Zach, and may his soul rest in peace. And also not forgetting Granddaddy's also put to rest one of their DJ who died because of COVID-19. So you can see that this is very serious. Hence the reason why you're being advised to stay indoors if there's nothing that you're going to do outside. Also, and remember, if you're going to move and do those errands, always wear your mask, carry your hand sanitizer. If you have an opportunity to wash your hands, make sure you wash your hands for at least 20 seconds. Maintain social distance, at least 1 meter, if possible 3 meters, okay? This is for your own good and for the betterment of everybody around you. And also not forgetting the cost of this week, deadline for all the ministers that obtained illegal salaries, or let me say, that obtained salaries during the dissolution of Parliament. We only have 4 on the list that managed to pay, and 2 that paid in full, and 2 that actually paid partly of the amount they were asked to pay back. Now the question is, are the rest of the ministers going to finish paying the money? Or what is going to happen to those that didn't finish paying the money? So we're yet to find out, and maybe next week we'll get the information on that. But for now, let's take a look at this clip on the ministers that actually managed to pay full and those that paid partly of it.
Today marks exactly a month since an order was given to former cabinet ministers who stayed in office illegally to pay back the money they obtained after Parliament dissolved in 2016. 7th January 2021 was a day set by the court as the last day for all ministers to pay back, but despite the month elapsing, 43 ministers out of 63 who were listed to pay back are yet to do so. On the 7th of December 2020, the Constitutional Court ordered the former ministers, deputy ministers, and former provincial ministers to pay back their evaluated debt within 30 days. However, the 43 ministers, among those Justice Minister Given Luinda, have requested the Constitutional Court to extend the period of payment and allow them to pay in installment due to financial challenges.
Speaking for myself, I don't know how I managed to raise all that money within 30 days. That is far beyond my monthly earning. There is no way that I can afford to raise that kind of money within 30 days, save for me going to borrow at high interest rates. So from a personal perspective, I am still reflecting upon making an application to the court to extend the period in which I can pay this money, because I don't think it's the intention of the court to starve me and my family for the next 2 months. I don't think that's their intention.
Among the 63, only a few managed to settle their debt and publicly announced to have done so include the former Minister of Foreign Affairs and now Democratic Party President Harry Kalaba being the first to pay, followed by Tourism Minister Rona Chitotela. Meanwhile, people like Home Affairs Minister Stephen Kampyongo, their debt was partially settled by Green Party President Peter Skamba.
It's not even about money, it's about principle. A good name is better than riches. The mistake was made, even though it was not made by myself, but the courts have ruled. It's the same courts that have managed to keep the DP right now in existence. So it's the same courts that have ruled that we should pay back. So where good comes from, even evil comes from. So I have paid because I think I have an inescapable responsibility towards this country, that we need to do good. Especially as leaders, we need to walk the talk. So people know that if we undermine our own foundations of democracy, then where are we going?
Seeing that today is their last day, some stakeholders have demanded that the 43 follow the procedure and do the right thing, as this is not the first time they are being ordered to pay, because in 2016 they were told to do so.
I've already heard some people saying, no, we will not pay. We don't care about that. We shall invoke the contempt of court provisions, and some of them, they will end up having elections in prison. And we are waiting. We have heard Jitka Patai saying he's not going to pay. He's quoted by the Daily Nation. We are going to invoke the provisions that are giving us power to cite people contempt of the courts.
Only a few months left for Parliament to dissolve ahead of the 2021 general elections. What will be the court's action against the ministers who have failed to pay? Or will it be another long court process that the Zambian citizens will have to witness? Miriam Kemba, reporting for Camnet TV News in Lusaka.
Welcome back. So we are yet to find out what will happen to the rest of the ministers that have actually not paid back the salaries they obtained during the dissolution of Parliament. And now joining me on set is Mr. Teza Mulwanda. Now, as we are approaching the general elections, which will be in August 2021, those voter registration exercises that were going through the mobile issuance of NRCs was for a purpose of people obtaining their voters' cards, which came to an end last year. So if you didn't get your voters' card, unfortunately, you will not participate in the general elections, which will be in August. So now, since we're headed those directions, he's come through to just let us understand the importance of keeping the peace and unity as we head towards elections. Good morning, sir, and welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thank you. Good morning, viewers out there.
Now, before we get into maintaining peace and unity getting towards the elections, let's understand the word cadreism.
Okay. There is a very big misconception about what cadreism is. A cadre is simply a small group of people that are trained for a specific profession and purpose. And that group of people has to understand the ideologies, the objectives of that particular organization. So in the political sense, a cadre has to understand the political party's manifesto. A cadre has to understand the objectives of their organization. A cadre must be able to understand our national values and principles and ensure that those principles are actually upheld and put into practice.
Okay.
There should be that operationalization of our national values and principles. And a cadre has a critical role to play to ensure that the operationalization is actually expedited.
Okay, so what is the role of a cadre in a political party?
One of the roles of a cadre in a political party is to promote peace and unity. A cadre is someone that should stand against hooliganism. A cadre should be able to stand against violence, consternation, and all kinds of pandemonium that arises during the time of election or during any particular time when there is a political frenzy. Even when we're just living normal lives, cadres should be there to uphold the peace and the unity.
Okay, so what you're trying to say is that the common behavior of a cadre isn't the actual role of a cadre in a political party?
I'll tell you the misconception. I'll use the word cadre itself. C-A-G-R-E. I'll start with C. Cadreism is not about being cruel, hooliganistic, psychopathic, or it's not about being brutal. Cadreism is not about being arrogantly aggressive, where someone is just opinionated and domineering, just wanting to do things their own way. Cadreism is not being despicable and dangerous, being a menace to society. No. Cadreism is not being rough or being a ruffian. No. Cadreism is not about being egocentric, where you just want to peddle the bicycle of your selfish interests at the expense of national unity. That's a misconception. Then I'll tell you what true cadreism is. And I use the same letters to explain this. Cadreism is about being courteous and civilized. Courtesy is an act of civility. Cadres must be civilized. Cadreism is about being amicable and approachable. They should be sociable. Cadres should be gregarious and outgoing. When I'm passing through any station, for example intercity, I shouldn't feel like I'm passing through a den of lions. When I'm wearing red, then I have to fear for my life when I see people who are wearing green or vice versa. No. Cadreism is about being disciplined and decent. That's true cadreism. Disciplined enough to uphold the peace and unity. Disciplined enough to uphold the rule of law. Disciplined enough to desist from any form of violence and hooliganism. Cadreism should be about being empathetic. You put yourself in other people's shoes. What I'm doing to my colleagues.
What if it was to happen to
Exactly. The golden rule has to be applied. I'm a Christian. Do unto others as you would want them to do unto you. Then cadreism is also about being reserved and reasonable. Reasonable enough to promote peace and unity. Reasonable enough to apply objectivity in whatsoever we do. But today there is so much mudslinging, bad-mouthing one another, vilifying one another, throwing tantrums at each other. That's a clear sign of gross political primitivity, and we need to grow out of that. And cadres must understand that political strength is not measured by the zenith they reach in climbing up the mountain of hooliganism. It is not measured by how much political tension and consternation they can diffuse across the broad spectrum of our society. But political strength is measured by the scale of peace, unity, love, togetherness, tolerance, and all other virtues that can contribute to our national amalgamation.
Great. So how do you think, or what do you think should be done to make sure that as we head towards the elections in August, there's no all this cadreism, all this violence and political fights?
Unity in diversity is the principle that we should apply. What do I mean? There should be unity without uniformity. There should be diversity without fragmentation.
I should get a dictionary. I need a dictionary.
Let me break the ice. Regardless of our different political affiliation, creed, ideologies, views, idiosyncrasies, and so on and so forth, there should be room for tolerance. Let us use those differences to solidify and cement our national togetherness. Let us not differ on the basis of tribe. Let us not differ on the basis of which political party someone is hailing from. Regardless of our ethno-linguistic disparities, we are one Zambia, one nation. Zambia, I look at Zambia to be a flamboyant flower, or Zambia to be our national flower, and all its different tribes, political parties, and so on are the flamboyant colors.
Beautiful
colors that add beauty and elegance for it to stand out as it is today. So let us take advantage of our differences. We cement them. I mean, we inculcate them into our governance system so that we can be a stronger and a healthier Zambia.
Okay,
Without peace and unity, we can't put our nation on the pedestal of economic growth and progression.
Okay, so now before I let you go, I'm sure a lot of people have gotten to understand what a cadre needs to do in a political party. Because honestly, before this, it made it look like a cadre is like the gangster of a political party. Because most of the times when you hear this political party was fighting this political party, most people that participate in such are cadres. So now getting to understand what a cadre is supposed to do in a political party, then they're doing the wrong thing. So as we head towards the general elections in August, what is your advice to every Zambian that's watching out there?
My fellow citizens and patriotic Zambians, let us show patriotism. Let us be nationalistic and Zambianistic enough to ensure that we uphold the peace and the unity. There's nothing we are going to gain out of fighting, out of all these squabbles and wrangles. Let us apply objectivity in whatsoever we do, and let us remember that we only have one Zambia. We don't want to start fighting running battles. We don't want to start seeing corpses lying on the streets of Lusaka or Zambia at large. Let us live together as one united big national family. Remember, it is one Zambia, one nation, and do not be used as political mercenaries who are paid to wreak havoc. Do not be used as tools and conduits of political violence. Say no to violence. Then you are a true Zambian.
All right, Mr. Teza, thank you for coming through.
It's been my pleasure being hosted.
Thank you. We hope to see you soon, obviously near the elections, so that you remind the people that they need to keep the peace and unity.
I can't wait to be
Next time you come, I'm coming with a dictionary. So
please do so.
So I was just having a conversation with Mr. Tezas telling us what a cadre is. And I'm sure you have learned one or two. I know I'm not the only one that used to think a cadre is only supposed to promote political violence, but we've gotten to understand the role of a cadre in any political party. Now coming through another set of guests that will be just highlighting more on the COVID-19. Hope you've learned one or two things. We'll be back. We'll continue the conversation on the other side. Stay tuned.
Monday, 11th January 2021 on National Matters, join Pastor Moses Chilua as he hosts a vibrant, young, creative, self-motivated leader, Mulenga Sata. You can participate on the program through phone calls, text and Zoom. Camnet TV, not just another channel. "2021 is finally here. Zambia is at the crossroads heading towards general elections this August. In the world where fake news, biased reporting on national issues has become the order of the day, in a world where social media in most cases spills lies and exaggerated information, insightful coverage, Zambia needs one media. Living in a country where people are slowly promoting tribalism, hatred, bitterness and revenge, political temperature is heating up and people's hearts are perplexed. Zambia needs one media. Zambia being a Christian nation living under the lordship of Jesus Christ, the nation cannot afford a compromised gospel. Zambia needs a prophetic media house for hope, peace and unity, Zambia needs Camnet television for non-biased, factual reporting, balanced opinion, accurate news coverage. Zambia needs Camnet television for national projects and development of our beloved country Zambia. Watch Camnet TV on channel 274 DSTV, channel 98 on Go TV, and channel 106 on Topstar. Remember, Camnet TV is not just another channel.
Welcome back. You're still watching the Rise and Thrive Breakfast Show on Camnet TV, not just another channel. And I'm your host. My name is Precious Mzea Sakaleji. Now, joining me on set are two vibrant youths from the Phenomenal Youth Association. I'm joined by Mr. Mbewe and Miss Kakinga, and they'll be just telling us more on the COVID-19 and also HIV and AIDS. So now, good morning. Happy New Year. I want to be like, Happy New Year! Because we didn't do that. Yeah, we didn't do that. So happy New Year, happy 2021.
Happy New Year too. Thank you so much.
Good to see you in this new year.
Good to see you too.
So now, getting started, what's about the Phenomenal Youth Association? What's the organization about?
Okay, Phenomenal Youth Association is a youth-led organization which was formed by young youths living with HIV that came together in fighting one common goal, which is the HIV eradication in Zambia. So Phenomenal Youth Association, it's not only consists of people living with HIV, but it also consists of people living with HIV negative. Those who are negative to shut their well sensitized and they're well informed about the pandemic. So Phenomenal Youth Association really helps young people aged from 10 to 35 ensure that, especially those who are HIV positive, we provide peer-to-peer counseling, we provide adherence services, counseling to ensure that, okay, they are living a healthy, positive life. So Phenomenal has been in existence now for over 4 years.
That's a long time.
Sure.
So now I'll come to you, Ms. Kakinga. How are you marrying the COVID-19 and the Phenomenal Youth Association, considering the fact that your organization mostly deals with people that are dealing with HIV?
First of all, it's not only dealing with people living with HIV. We have people who are negative in the organization. So now we have a project called HIV and COVID-19 Chilimba. So we're calling our clients, making sure that they're taking their drugs and they're adhering to COVID-19 guidelines. So that's the project all about, COVID-19 and Chilimba.
Okay. So now, how is that working? What exactly are you doing? Calling it COVID-19 HIV Chilimba. How does it work?
We're calling our clients, like I said, making sure we're asking them questions, how they're doing, if they're adhering to treatment, if they're taking their ARVs, and also adhering to COVID-19. And for now, we're supposed to be doing a follow-up, like going to their homes and check. Excuse me, but because of COVID-19, we're not doing that. We're just calling them, checking them online, how they're doing and everything.
Okay, so how long is the project running? Is it a one-off thing, or you're just doing it now that there's COVID?
It's a 6 months project.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, great. Anything else, Mr. Mbewa?
Okay, about the project, Chilimba, it was launched actually last year, 2019, on the 19th of December. That's when we launched the project. Okay, this project, we saw that most of young people or any person living with HIV, it's really difficult because we've seen how much challenge that we faced, especially in society, coming to the issues of stigma. Because personally, it's something that we use as the role models and to ensure that our friends that are also living positive. Because something like me personally, I live with HIV positive, and I'm not ashamed about it. But it's something that we use to ensure that the way I've managed to cope up with life, because the journey of being HIV positive is not an easy journey. We face many battles. We face stigma. We face rejection. We face self-isolation, where you just isolate yourself from people because of issues of mental health. But phenomenal, we saw that, okay, Chilimba project is really going to help many youths to ensure that even them who are not adhering will be able to approach them through phone calls, through text, checking them how they're doing, monitoring them every day, because the health facilities, they can't do everything.
Sure.
No wonder, as the organization, we came in to say, no, where the health facilities leaving a linkage, that we bridge to ensure that, okay, services are being reached to all the people living with HIV, because our aim goal as an organization is to ensure that everyone reaches the undetectable levels of viral load, the one we call the U equals U.
Oh, great. So now, coming from Phenomenal Youth Association, what are some of the achievements, some things that you would look back to and to say this was one of our high moments?
Okay, one of the achievements that we can say, we've seen many young people, at least those who decided to abandon their treatment, getting back on treatment. We have seen that people that were facing would be living shame with HIV, now they're able to come in public and say, okay, I've been living with this virus and this is how my life is. So we see that phenomenon is really helping. We've seen a lot of achievement, especially in terms of acceptance. Because we've seen many people nowadays, especially wherever a person says I'm HIV positive, we tend to say, maybe I'll die soon.
Yeah, true.
But we try to give them hope to say, being HIV or HIV diagnosis, it's not a death sentence, but it's just another way of starting life on another note. Just by adhering to your treatment. If you adhere to your treatment,
then you're good.
You're good to go. You can live like any other person.
So coming to you, Ms. Kakinga, apart from the Chilimba projects that the organization is working on, are there any other projects that you guys plan to have?
For now, I think we're just working on the Chilimba project. Yes.
Oh, okay, so being in an environment where you're dealing with people that are both HIV positive and those that are negative, what has been, let's say, the worst that the organization has faced? What has been the worst experience?
The worst experience is seeing people defaulting from their treatment because they can't take it, because they're HIV positive and everything. They used to think like it's a death sentence. That's why we as Phenomenal Youth Association came out to make those people know that HIV is not a death sentence. Living with HIV is a normal thing. They're just like any other human being. They can achieve whatever they want with HIV. It's just like any other disease.
Oh, okay, and you managed to get them back on their treatment?
Yeah, most of them are back on treatment.
Oh, okay, great. So now, before we let you go, now getting into COVID, we know that it has gotten to, we've been hit by the second wave. What is your organization doing to make sure that the people that have compromised immune are adhering, apart from the calls and text messages? How sure are you that when you call someone to tell them take your medication now, they're really taking it?
So they have a WhatsApp group for people living with HIV. You do, is it? Yes, they have a WhatsApp group, and there are a lot of people there who are just positive, living HIV positive. So they mingle around, they share stories, how they're living and everything. They encourage each other. So yeah, they make sure that they take their drugs. If it's the time to take their drugs and everything, then somebody will come out and say, it's time for you guys to take your Smarties.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Any contribution, Mr. Mbewe?
Yeah, what we are really doing to ensure that people are there, because we are trying to create that relationship.
Yes.
Between the phenomenon and the client, especially people that are on heart. So we are going through the caregivers, especially those who are people who are living with a person living with HIV, to ensure that they're able to monitor them, since we may not be there.
Yeah, true.
But they're able to monitor them. So we'd go say, ensure, give us any challenge, because many other people just taking a medicine every day because of because of pill burden, they've been burdened with pills. But we ensure that try, to encourage them. That's why we monitor them through the caregivers, and also if a person is willing, no wonder how we are trying to create that friendly space in between me and the client. So to ensure there will be a very good relationship, even in talking, this person will be comfortable, because we are having these people who are trained. We are calling them the TOT, and Hashi happens to be one of them. These are the people that were trained on how to handle these clients. In case maybe you meet someone who has maybe given up, how are you going to handle them? So these are the things, and these are the services we are trying to ensure that they're on treatment, they are daring. Our goal is to ensure that before the end of the project, we have to ensure that everyone who is on heart is able to attain the undetectable levels of viral.
How long is the project?
The project is running for 3 months.
Okay.
Yes. So
after 3 months, you get to change and get another group.
Another group. So what we are trying to do actually with this project, it's not the only project actually coming, because we are having so many projects. Now that we are calling many people to partner, we're trying to partner as many people as we starting with the church, we're coming with other organizations. We are calling on they can say, okay, let me partner with
the
this
inputs.
Yes, because we may like maybe with some other logistics, but with the help of many, they sit with us, they hear what we have. I believe they will see that indeed we can, by 2030, we may end AIDS.
Okay, great. So now during this one has been running for how long? Since you're running the project for every after 3 months, this one has been running for how long?
So this
the current one.
The current one is just now running for a month, because we launched it in December.
Oh, okay. So this is like the second month.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So how do people get to contact with you guys in case they want to be part of your next project?
They can be in touch with us through our Facebook page, which is Phenomenal Positive Youths, and also we also have a website.
Okay.
They can go through the website Phenomenal Positive Youths. They will check on what's happening, and also we have because on that page, either the page or the website, there are contacts.
Okay.
And they can also reach us through our office. We have an office in Olympia, that's in Chainama Road, plot number 12.
Oh, okay.
That's where we are found. They can come through.
And if they want to join, they can as well just apply. They can apply. So it's both for HIV positive and HIV negative. They're all welcome. It's not only for HIV people.
Oh, okay. So now before I let you go, your last remarks, your closing remarks?
My closing remarks is just to ensure that I'm just encouraging people, especially my fellow people who are living positive. Let's ensure that we adhere to treatment. We take our treatment every day. Being HIV positive is not a death sentence. It's something that you can live with, grow with it, accept it, and let's remember to adhere to all the COVID-19 guidelines. Masking up, wash your hands, sanitizing, avoid crowded places, maintain a social distance.
Ms. Kakinga?
I want to say to those who are living with HIV positive, we love them so much. They should take care of themselves, make sure that they adhere to treatment and they get to U equals U. HIV is not a death sentence. Thank you. I think that's all.
So viewers, there you have it. I was talking to two personnel from Phenomenal Youth Association, Mr. Mbewe and Ms. Kakinga, just telling us more about the project that they're having, taking care of the people living with HIV and AIDS, and also having an organization that associates with both people living with HIV and AIDS and those that are not. So if you feel that you want to be part of the organization, all you can do is just visit their Facebook page and you will find the information there. Well, I will take a short break and then I'll be back on the other side as I pack my bags.
And bananas. Work and wait, and this what you've been praying for.
"2021 is finally here. Zambia is at the crossroads heading towards general elections this August. In the world where fake news, biased reporting on national issues has become the order of the day, in a world where social media in most cases spills lies and exaggerated information, insightful coverage, Zambia needs one media. Living in a country where people are slowly promoting tribalism, hatred, bitterness and revenge, political temperature is heating up and people's hearts are perplexed. Zambia needs one media. Zambia being a Christian nation living under the lordship of Jesus Christ, the nation cannot afford a compromised gospel. Zambia needs a prophetic media house. For hope, peace and unity, Zambia needs Camnet television. For non-biased, factual reporting, balanced opinion, accurate news coverage, Zambia needs Camnet television. For national projects and development of our beloved country Zambia, watch Camnet TV on channel 274 DSTV, channel 98 on Go TV, and channel 106 on Topstar. Remember, Camnet TV is not just another channel.
Welcome back. You're still on the Rise and Thrive Breakfast Show with me, Precious Mzea Sakarej. Unfortunately, I have come to the end of the show. I'd like to say thank you to Mr. Teza that came through just to remind us that as we head towards the elections in August, we should maintain peace and unity. And Kadarism is not about promoting political violence. And then on the other side, I had Mr. Mbewe and Ms. Kakinga that came through from a non-governmental organization, Phenomenal Youth Association, where they're dealing with persons with both HIV and AIDS and those that are negative, just to sensitize people on COVID-19 and making sure that people adhere to the health guidelines and also take their medication. Well, and also on the other side, we spoke about different things. Hope you've learned one or two things on the Rise and Thrive Breakfast Show. Make sure that you make a date with us next week again. Coming up next is Amazing Katamanda on the Weekly Gospel, and then Off the Pitch is coming through from Amos and Robson on the other side. Unfortunately, I will have to say bye from me, Isaac Chifita, and Elijah Chifita on the other side. I would love to say good morning and have a beautiful day. Thank you for joining us.